Imagine you wake up, you open your eyes, and you're like that. Where am I? Small room, bright lights, white walls, and a metal door. My God. Imagine you wake up and you're in a jail cell. You go to the door, you bang your fists, screaming, shouting. What am I doing here? Imagine the police guy comes up to the door and he's like, keep it down. You're like, what did I do? You don't know? Oh, shake your head. What? And the police guy just looks at me as if I'm some sort of pure thug. And he looks at me and he goes, you're getting charged with attempted murder, young man. And you'd be like, oh no, what did I do? So you start remembering everything. Right from the beginning. You try to remember, how did I get here? So you start remembering your dad. He was a woman beater. He beat people up. He beat your mum up every day. From the day they got married up until the day they got divorced. He used to beat her to a pulp. So she stopped working. Because she was embarrassed. She wouldn't go out the house. She didn't want to walk down the street with her face all black and blue. So you remember that your mum, she didn't want me to grow up to be just like him. She wanted me to be a famous lawyer, or a famous doctor, or a famous something. And you remember, you were poor, but you weren't poor. Because your mum still made sure there was dinner on the table every night. She'd give you every penny. She didn't care about herself. But remember, you never really spoke to her. Because she'd come home from school, straight up the stairs. James, what? You did us out. You come down, grab the plate. Thanks, Ma. Back up the stairs. So you never spoke to your mum. But you remember your granddad. Closest thing I had to a proper father. Put me right under his wing. Did everything my dad would do. Held my hand, walked me down to the shops, played daft little games with me. And best of all, he took me to the United game every Saturday. Took me on long walks around the town. Taught me how to hang the United flag out the window. And to play the flute. But, you know, you kept that sort of stuff to yourself. Oh. Then he got the cancer. And you remember, you'd go and sit with him, play a game of cards, help him do his jigsaw, have a cup of tea, and look out the back window. And remember that when the boys from the school were playing, and there was fighting from the school, from the boys up the way, they hit each other with bricks. Then it would be poles with baseball bats. And then you'd be looking out the window. And next thing you know, it'd be knives. Is that a young boy with a sword? Am I really seeing this? And you and your granddad, you sit there and go, what are they fighting for? Because your granddad was a man who never started hitting people. He got his point across with his mouth, not his fist. You just had to walk, talk. You just talked to him and people would listen to him. And remember, he always wanted me to grow up to be just like him. But when I was growing up, I didn't have that many mates. I was that shy, nerdy boy. Didn't want to fit in with anybody. And the mates you did have, they just use you, if you know what I mean. Because if it was like a pure sunny day outside, they'd go away and leave me in the house. But if it was pissing down with rain, they'd come round and talk to you. Ah, James, not seen you in ages. How have you been? Can we sit down with you for a while? They didn't care about you. They just wanted somewhere to sit. Oh, and say, oh. Well, that's what you'd remember. You'd remember the night that your granddad died. You died inside. You remember how you wanted to hold somebody down to the ground, stamp their eyes out, and get a baseball bat and scalp it off somebody's head just to get the anger out of me. It was building up, all this anger. I didn't have any way to let it out. Imagine all this going through my head. I'm waiting in the little room with no belt, no laces, and this key worker geezer comes in, has this file, hands it to me. I start to read, but I can't concentrate on the words. So I said to him, please, read it for me. What does it say? Are you going to tell me? Do you really not remember? Shake my head. Assault, arson, attempted murder. Do you remember now? Some of it. Why don't you tell me what happened? I'll try. So, I started to tell the story. Where were you? You were in the town. Who were you with? You was with your pals. Your pals' pals. People they knew, but you didn't know them. Where were your friends? They all went away and left me. With these folk you didn't know. You don't know? Starts coming back to me. One of them hands a bottle of vodka with me and says, here, you want a drink? And you're like, nah. Drink it straight. How? Just drink it straight. So you went, took a bit out of the bottle. It tasted weird and nah. There's something wrong with this. And they went just down it. You're like, f***'s sake. And you didn't want to look like that shy little boy again. Took a big drink of it and there was ecstasy, Valium. You didn't know what was in it. By the time your boys come back, you were in some state. James, you were like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Alright man, where have you been? I've been missing you. And the next minute, where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Why that? Leaving me here? Do you want me to come over there and smash your face in? Just calm down. We're looking at people. But you were never just looking at them. You were looking at them like picking a victim. James, come on. We need to get home. We need to remember. They're taking you home. But then, all you can remember is screaming. They're screaming. It was like being in a dream, but still being awake at the same time. And all you can hear is, James, are you alright? You feel your blood boiling. What happened to you? What have you took? James! You start punching James. No. Kicking. James. No. You feel your hands shower on somebody's throat. What are you doing? Squeezing. Please, stop. James. James, don't. Then screaming. Everything went black. Imagine you did that to somebody. And you don't know why you did it. You just wanted payback. You was hurting so much. You just wanted to hurt somebody else. And the payback you done didn't mean nothing. You just needed a friend. Someone to talk to. But instead, you nearly killed somebody that night. You remember it all. Imagine this. They'd take you to a courtroom and put me in front of us. Son, you see thousands of boys like you every night getting charged with exact crimes. "10 years. Please, no, that's me finished." And she says, "Son, just make an honest mistake." And I look at them standing there. They don't belong here. They don't belong in jail. They just made a stupid mistake. What they really need is someone to give them a chance. And you're there like, and you look her right in the eye. And she goes, "You're one of the lucky ones." You're one of the lucky ones. I'm going to give you a probation sentence. But bear in mind, it's 3 years. And you're like, "Oh my, thank you." If you mess up during that time, you're going to do 10 years in jail. Do you understand? Yeah. You may leave my courtroom. That's you free to go. Step outside, into the sunshine. Take a deep breath. There's your mum, waiting. She looks at you, you look at her. How's she ever going to trust me again? She walks towards you. Mum, I'm sorry. And she bursts out greeting. And then she goes, James, what are you going to do with yourself? Now imagine all that happened to you. What would you do? You know what I'd do? I'd start to talk. I would tell people my story. Because when I got angry, I nearly lost everything. And all I really wanted was somebody to sit up, take notice, and then I would go home. I'd take down all the shit posters. I'd get rid of all my knives. I'd look in the mirror and try to imagine what comes next. Then you'd get into bed. You'd pull up the covers. You'd turn off the light. Take a minute to relax. Clear your mind. And try to move on with your life. Then your mind becomes matter. Blackout.